You don't need a better hiring process. You don't need a fancier comp package. You don't need to read another book on leadership. You just actually need to care about the people working for you and with you. That's the unlock. And a lot of founders I know don't do it well. So I run a football agency with operations across 5 different countries. And I've made every mistake in the book. I've overhired, underhired, definitely not trained very well at times, kept the wrong people too long, and let the right people walk. And the biggest lesson that I've learned isn't in any podcast or book that I read. It was that the founders that get the best out of their teams aren't the ones with the best systems. They're the ones who actually believe in the people that they're working with. So the lesson started not really with my staff, but with my players. So when Victor and I first started Select Generation, since about 3-4 years ago now, we've placed hundreds of players into colleges, brought hundreds of players internationally. And early on, I thought my job as an agent was pretty simple. Find the biggest opportunity, get them to D1, get them the pro contract, and that was the value. But I was completely wrong. What I realized, honestly, after about 2 years of doing this seriously, is that the players that got the most out of working with us weren't the players that I pushed the hardest. They were the ones who felt like someone was actually in their corner, someone had their back. So I had a kid 2 years ago placed at a Division 1 school, full scholarship, sounded like a win. And he emailed me 6 months later to say he was miserable, it was a wrong fit, the wrong coach, didn't get the playing time that he wanted, didn't feel like a family, didn't have a good culture. And honestly, if I was listening properly, like really listening, I would have known 6 months earlier that he wasn't going to thrive there. But I wasn't paying attention to him, I was paying attention to the offer. So after that, that changed the way that we as Select Generation work with every single player. And it also changed how I work with my own team. And I want to say in this video, I am the co-founder of Select Generation. So Victor, who does a million different things behind the scenes, he is the co-founder of this. He doesn't like being on camera a lot, so that's my job. But just for reference, we co-founded Select Generation together, and I got to give a big shout out, a lot of credit to him. And if you watch a lot of these videos or you've been watching them, you'll hear him pop up a lot and you know he's a good guy. So let me be specific about what I mean. Care about players and people in general isn't sentimental. It's tactical, and it looks like this. Texting your operations lead after a bad week, not just a good one. Remembering that your editor's mum was sick 3 weeks ago and asking how she's doing. Picking up the phone when there's nothing on the agenda. No deal, no decision, no problem to solve. Just a check-in. And it looks like this. You ask, how are you doing? No, but like actually, how are you doing? And you need to mean it. Not surface, not check the box. The second time, the third time, the person realizes you're not waiting for them just to say, I'm good. And that is really hard because when you're a founder of a global soccer agency or you're just busy in general, it can be really easy to forget things. And when you're working across a lot of different people, you feel like there's loads of people to check in with. What I do is I usually just make a to-do list and I put it on my to-do list. Check in with this person, check in with someone from this team, check in with a player that you haven't talked to in a while. And that way I know every week, every month, I know, okay, I need to check in with this person. I need to make sure that they're doing all right. And it looks like remembering. People will tell you what they care about. Their family, their ambitions, their fears, what's stressing them out is a real skill of a person to be able to read other people, how to communicate and understand what motivates them, what excites them. Because then when you talk to them, you can pick up on it and you know that they're going to talk to you about it. I've learned this a lot on the podcast when I'm trying to feel out the person, what they're passionate about, what they're motivated by, what's the topic that they want to talk about, and then go into it. If you're working with someone on your team, maybe they like NASCAR, maybe they support Chelsea, maybe like table tennis. If you find out something about them after asking questions, they get really into it, and then that's when they open up more and they feel a lot more comfortable with you. If you remember those things and you come back to them 3 months later, you build something that most founders can't fake. So here's where I think most founders get this wrong. They think that care is a soft thing, a nice to have, something that you do when you have some time after the real work's done. And it's the opposite. Care is the most leveraged thing a founder can do because the cost of a disengaged team is enormous. Higher turnover, slower output, people can feel it, your players, your staff, other people involved in the team, they can feel it when the founder doesn't care about the team and the team is disengaged. People do the minimum and they're already looking for the next job in the background. And founders pay for disengagement every single time, and most don't realize what they're paying for. So compare that to a team where every single person believes in the founder, believes in the vision, is excited about coming to work and doing what they want to do. Those people don't quit when something better comes along. They go through walls and they tell you the truth when something's going wrong. And they stay through the bad quarters because they trust you and they trust that you got their back and you'll be there for them too. That's a competitive advantage and it costs nothing. And that's something that I'm really excited about and really grateful for at Select Generation. Over the past 2-3 years, I think that we've built a staff and built a culture where people are excited. You know, we announced a new thing in different countries. I'm not sure by the time this comes out, but we're doing a showcase in China, in Hong Kong. We've obviously got the team in Dubai. The staff feel that. They feel the vision, they feel the engagement, they're excited about what's coming next, and they become A players because they're excited about what's next. I've been in big corporations, big companies where there wasn't really a founder. You didn't know who the CEO was. You never saw him. There was someone too far away. And obviously big companies are really successful at what they do, and some of them have a really good culture and really productive. But the staff working in the organization need to understand the mission, the vision, the big goal, and they need to be excited about their role, that they're not just part of a machine, that they're making a big impact, and that they're fulfilled and they're engaged. That's the most important thing. You need everyone to be engaged. And the mistake I see, and that I've made myself, is treating people as resources, as role players, operations lead, head of content, VP of marketing. You start thinking of them as the position they fill rather than the person that they are. And the second mistake is performative care. The team off-site, the birthday Slack message, the "we're a family here" speech that I've done plenty of. Your team can sniff that out in 5 seconds and they can smell bullshit. Real care isn't event-driven, it's daily and it's quiet. And the third mistake, founders who only ever ask about the work. How's the project? When's it shipping? Is it done yet? Do you have an ETA? What's the blocker? It's never, how are you? What vacation have you got planned? How's your girlfriend doing? How's your dog doing? People don't separate themselves from the work that easily. If something's off in their personal life, it's affecting how they show up. The founders who ask about both get better work and a better person. So if I was starting over with this lesson, I'd do 3 things. I'd write down the first thing that every new hire tells me about themselves so that I can come back to it when I need to. I block 15 minutes a week to check in with every single member for no reason other than just to say hello and see how they are. And I'd stop measuring my leadership by what I built, and I'd start measuring it by what my team feels like working for me. Care isn't soft, it's the whole thing. And the founders who figure that out keep their best people for a long time. And the ones they don't keep paying for everyone that they lose. And that's a big, big price that you don't know about and you can't feel it. You can't see it, but it's a big, big price. Which one are you going to be? And I really think caring for people, not just as a founder, but generally, is something that is really difficult because you don't know maybe when the right moment to speak is. You don't know what you should say. It can be really overwhelming if you're working with a big organization. I mean, last year we had, or next year we'll have about 100 players abroad. We'll have probably 50 different staff members between different countries. And that is a big task to check in with for 50 minutes every day. So even just little things, if you see something on Instagram, you see a picture that you like, and just sending it, hey man, good job, keep it up. Or, I like to think that we do a good job of speaking to our players, checking in, how's it going, how are you doing? Oh, how's it going with the goalie coach? I remember this year in England, I was talking to Justin, Micah, and Andrew a lot about, how's Toby as a goalie coach? Oh, he's really good. We did this today in training, it made a big difference. So I would just text Toby, hey, I spoke to Justin today, this is what he said. And that goes a long way, even if you don't have a check-in every month with each person or every week, just showing little messages, little things that you care, that goes a big way. But yeah, if you like this video, leave something in the comments below about what you learned or any topics that you'd like me to speak about going forward. Again, big shout out to Victor. So he is the co-founder of Select Generation with myself. He does a lot of stuff behind the scenes. When I talk about founder, I learned a lot of stuff from that guy. Can't say any more good things about Victor and what he brings to Select Generation. So again, if you like the video, leave a comment, give us a like, and I'll see you in the next one.